Hi, everyone. This small construction company earned $30.5 million in government contracts last year. And my goal by the end of this video is to show you how you can find similar opportunities for your construction business so you're able to bid and win these government contracts. First, I'm going to show you a proof of how much money this company actually won. So this is USAspending.gov, the official government website for the government spending. And you can see that this company, they have been awarded $45.4 million in contracts. And then if you go here for 2025, they have $30.5 million in obligation. That means they've earned this much money. So the second thing I want to prove to you is that they're actually a small business. So this is the capability statement of the company. This is an official one. It's on the SBA.gov website. So you can see that they define themselves as a certified 8A small disadvantaged business, and that they serve federal agencies nationwide, and that they are a licensed general building and engineering contractor. So what this tells you that they are actually an 8A small disadvantaged business. And also you can see here in the certification that they are SBA 8A certified, that they are minority owned and SDB certified. So now, without a doubt, they are considered a small business. But if we look at their record and track record, they mention here that they have a lot of experience and they have contracts that range from $10,000 to over $10 million. So they have quite of a range of which contracts they target. Here are the NAICS codes they target, and here you have few of the contracts that they have won. This one, for example, is building in Utah. This one is recreation area, and this one is a golf course. Now, with that being said, you could actually see here all of their contracts that they have won in the past, and you could see there are a lot of them. And the nice thing about this is not all of them are construction from bottom up. You have a lot of them that are remodeling, a lot of them that are renovation, stuff like that. So this one, for example. So it's quite diverse what kind of things they go after, but obviously all of it fall within construction. Now, if we actually go and look at how the government is spending in this niche, we see that they are spending a lot of money. So what I'm filtering here by is that I'm looking specifically at 2025, and I'm looking at construction government contracts for a small business set aside, 8A, and a total and small and partial small business set aside. And you can see that there's 780 websites been awarded just in the past 6 months. And a lot of them are from different agencies, mostly the DoD, but you have all across GSA, Department of Interior, Health, Human Services, and so on. And you could see how they're spending month over month, they're spending a lot of money, on average $100 million a month. So there's a lot of these contracts, and whichever construction niche you specialize in, the chances are you'll definitely find a government contract in your niche. So how do you actually find these government contracts? That's what I want to show you today. So the software I use is SamSearch.co, and I'm going to search across the federal government. I'm also going to search across all the states and cities. First, to start with the federal government, I'm searching for residential remodeling. That's just one of the things that I'm searching for. You can specifically write here what you want in terms of construction. You can start with a broad term like construction. And as you can see here, I found this one. This is a new contract that is small business set aside, so only small businesses can bid on. It's a request for proposal by the Department of Interior. And then you can see here that they are seeking contractors to remodel this center. Now, what I've done is usually you could filter more. So let's say, for example, you want to get early in the cycle, sales cycle, you want to start with when it's a request for information. Obviously, these are technical terms. The main thing is you can find all of these contracts, look for active ones only. It makes it very simple to find these. And with the AI generated summary, you can quickly make bid, no bid decisions. Now, let's go back to that contract we're just seeing, which is the Yukon Fire Dispatch Center remodel. Once you're here, it's easy for you to see all the information, all the attachments. You could summarize them instead of actually going and reading all of them. And then you can go down here and get analysis, detailed analysis about this agency. So you want to see when it comes to Department of Interior, when it comes to building finishing contractors, what happens? What do they spend on? You can see here that they spend mainly on small disadvantaged businesses and 8A. and they also spend on Native American-owned businesses. So if you're a small business, especially if you have 8A or Native American-owned, then you have a good chance of actually winning these contracts because you see most of the spending goes to small businesses. So that's a good sign. Now here we got the summary. This is like the main ideas of each one of these documents. You could go further into this or not. What I like to do here is I usually like to ask SamSearch AI all the questions about the document so I don't have to download and read all of them. So here I asked, for example, break this down for me in simple terms. And it broke it down in simple terms. I then asked, what's this opportunity about? And then it told me exactly what it's about, how much it is, set aside, the size standard. I could ask here, for example, what are the requirements? You could ask all these questions. Who should I submit this bid to? What should I include in my bid? All of these things, you could just ask it and we'll give you all the details with ease. Now, another thing that I like about this is I can stay organized so I could start a journey. What that means is I'm adding this to my Trello board, you could think of it. So let me actually show you. So here I keep track of all my opportunities. So I have assessment in progress submitted 1, and then I can go through each one of these and move it based on its status. So if it's in progress, I could just move it there. For example, this one, the one we just added, I could just move it to in progress. Now with each one, I could generate deep insights for why would this opportunity be good for me. And it takes all the time to read through my business profile, read through the opportunity and give me a deep insight on why it's a good fit. I have here organized all my contacts. So if I have, this is the contracting officer, I could add, for example, my subcontractor, any person I am talking to or reaching out to. And then I could also have here my tasks. So for example, reach out X, Y, Z, there a due deadline. And for example, just put this, and then you could add a description, like a header, and then something like this. This way, for each one of these opportunities, you're staying organized. Now, for example, write a bid. I'm just making an example. This one is high. So with this, I am organized for this specific opportunity. I can come here to the chat and ask it the same questions, all the questions I want to ask about the opportunity. And then I also have here the documents. So all my documents related to this specific opportunity are in this specific location. I could add more documents to it. I could remove. And finally, I can here generate a proposal. So based on my documents and the opportunity document, I could generate an outline and then generate a proposal. Here, I'm just choosing the capability statement to generate the outline. And then from that, it will generate a proposal. And going back to the search, I would also like to show you that you're not only limited to the federal government contracts for construction. What we can do is we can switch here to SLED, which is state, local, and education. And as simple as that, now we have access to all the states, all the cities across the countries, and a lot of school districts, universities, and so on. So this one, for example, is Massachusetts, and they are looking for residential remodeling. If you are state specific, you can filter here by your specific state. So I could just say, for example, I am in California. I only want to see contracts in California. Now it's going to only look at that. So this one, for example, is a comprehensive remodeling or something in California, including structural or mechanical, all of that. The nice thing about this is it has access to thousands and thousands and thousands of procurement websites, so you don't have to go and visit each one of them. So you might think, oh, there must be a website for this. No. So the state would have a website, each county would have a website, each city would have a website, each school district would have a website, each university would have a website. So actually going through all of them is close to impossible if you have to do it manually. What this is doing, it's gathering all of them in one. So this one, for example, is by this city. This one is by California Fire Department. This one is by the Internal Services Department in California. This one is Sacramento County. So it's getting all of these from multiple procurement websites all in one. So you could just browse it with ease with AI generated summaries. And then you could just break it down like I've shown you, add it to your journey, keep track of it. And once you're ready to submit a proposal, you'll be ready to do that. So if you are a construction company that want to tap into the government contracting space, then I'd highly recommend you look into SamSearch. It will make it a lot easier for you to get your foot in the door. And if you're already established in this space, it will just make the whole capture business development process much easier than what you have right now. There are a lot of companies that are doing really well on a federal aspect and also on a local aspect. So whether you want to explore one or both or federal or state or local, then I would highly recommend you get into SamSearch. It will just make the whole process much easier. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. And if you want to get SamSearch, I'll leave a link in the description and in the first comment. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.